I did a drawing today about how to help the world because, gosh, there's been so much this year that has happened. So many people have left this world. So many disasters have happened. So much change is happening right now politically and all over the world and internally. And I mean, it's a very exciting time, but it can also really take a toll on your heart if you are in the midst of all this stuff, if you're being triggered by all of it. I mean, Standing Rock is happening as we speak, and that's so there's so much, right? I could go on and on and on and on, and I could keep thinking of things like they're popping into my head. So I like to take a step back and I like to assess how I'm actually feeling about it, not because of any external things like Facebook posts and you shoulds and all this like shaming into compassion. I don't really respond well to that. And I actually learned a really amazing lesson um, about suffering this year, and just the idea that, suffering isn't really what helps us move forward. It's not really what helps us give to other people. It's not really the thing that causes us to donate. It's not what makes us get in the car and go volunteer or go to a protest or a rally. Suffering, I feel, is the opposite of that. It's like we're draining our own energy so that we're less prepared to help out. And I never quite resonated with the idea of a protest, even if it's for an amazing cause. That's just me personally. I have attended lots of volunteering, and I've gone to DC to help with, GMO labeling. Like, I've definitely been an involved person. I give a lot of money to charity, and I really love supporting two local charities, in particular the Phoenix Rescue Mission, which feeds people all the time but does really, really amazing stuff on the holidays, and Free Arts for Abused Children in Phoenix. I volunteer there. And so I want to kind of separate this idea of suffering and compassion. They don't have to go together. And I did an intuitive art drawing about, let me just make sure. Okay, yes, somebody is here watching. So I imagine you can hear me. If you can hear me, just type something in just so I know. But I just wanted to do an intuitive art drawing and get some feedback from a higher source than just my mind and my body, and really see how can we help the world. And I wanted to see what it said, right? So I will go into the drawing. Here is the drawing. And it was really interesting. It kind of validated how I've been feeling. And that is that this yellow color is the first one that showed up. And it's yellow for me is joy, right? So this joy here, it's actually kind of phallic. So this like phallic expression of joy. And then this red color, which is action. The brown up here is about grounding. And these little curly cues are my expression color. And so what I got from this was that, and you can see there's no suffering here, right? There's no like really heavy heart. There's no like cause for concern. This says to be in your joy, right? Find your joy, find your energy, find what you are excited about, and then act. Okay, so the action comes after this joy part here. And the grounding on top, it's coming from the top down. It's not coming from the bottom up. Like, when I think of things that really bother me, like obviously this Standing Rock situation, it bothers me. Obviously what has been said about women this year bothers me. The fact that millions of people don't have access to clean water, and billions of people probably and regular supplies of food that are nutritious. And I mean, there's so much in the world that would bother me, and that kind of feels heavy to me when I go to that place, when I go to the place of like, wow, there's so much wrong with the world. It feels very heavy, like I'm sitting in this little cesspool. But when I view this groundedness, it's up top. So it kind of feels like we're bringing our wisdom, we're bringing our vibration in from the top, and we're laying that upon our joy and our action. And so it's not like we're going digging down into the depths of what's wrong and then bringing it up. We're bringing the good down onto the bad. And that's really different. So this expression here, it's all over the joy and it's all over the action, and it's even partly over the grounding. And for me, expression is paramount to my life. I couldn't exist if I didn't have an outlet for expression. And at times I need to add more. Like sometimes I just can't go on unless I write a poem or make a drawing or do painting or have a conversation, or I always need to be communicating. And maybe for you it's not in an artistic way, although if you're watching on Intuitive Art's Facebook page, you probably are creative and artistic. But this is just about expressing your joy, expressing your action, expressing your grounding. And in this case, this, since it is up here, this is about your wisdom. This is about your high vibration. It's about your intuition. It's about your inspired ideas that come from that place. And so we can do more to help the world by finding our joy and acting from that place and expressing it all along the way. Because when we express all of this, don't we automatically uplift and inspire others? Like when you, when I volunteer and I take pictures of my conventions or the art that the kids make, I mean, it definitely uplifts me. And I think seeing that really uplifts and inspires other people. Because I think the whole key to this is that when we're depleted, when we ourselves are feeling down, we don't have enough energy for ourselves, let alone to give to other people. And I think that's why we all get stuck in this kind of mode of recirculating things online and kind of like we're like push button helping instead of living and helping. And that's not true for everybody. But I do it too. I fall into this trap of like, I'll watch a YouTube video about something that's happening in politics right now, and then I'll share it or I'll get riled up about it. But that doesn't really help. Right? That doesn't really affect any change. It's not expressing anything. It's not in my joy. It's not really taking action, and it's definitely not grounded. So if we keep in mind that our best defense against all of this crap that's happening is for us to be in our joy, that, I think, for me at least, is amazing. Right? Because we can do that. I find a lot of times that we don't know what to do. We have this feeling of like, how can I help? What can I do? Maybe you can't drop everything and go to Standing Rock. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you can't go to DC. Maybe you can't spend all day on the phone, right? There's a lot of things that a lot of amazing people are doing that maybe you just can't do. You don't have the time or the money. But this you can do. This you can do in any moment of any day. You can find your joy. And even if you can't live like the most spectacular version of your life right now, you can definitely improve it, at least incrementally. So I love this drawing. And I also kind of want to talk about the fact that, a lot of times we feel like we're not really compassionate people if we're not suffering. I know I've said that word a lot in here, the idea of suffering, but I really love the idea that if it's making our heart heavy, it's not ours. It's not for us. And I know a lot of you are really empathic and you feel things, but you're also taking that on. You have a choice of what to feel and how to feel. And just try that. Just try on the idea that if it's making you feel heavy, it's not yours, you can give it back. Because whether or not you picked up on it from a stranger or a family member, or you're actually doing things and reading things that are making you feel that way, it's still a choice when you notice it. So try to notice it, try to give it back, because let me tell you, you're going to have so much more inspiration and energy to help than if you're just feeling really down. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. If you want to help people doing this, like doing drawings, finding your joy, helping others find their joy, we have an incredible certification program, and these certified intuitive artists are really amazing. We have people who are doing this just with, intuitive art. They're making their career that way. But we also have amazing intuitives and body workers and energy workers and therapists who are combining intuitive art with their career to give people more clarity. So if you're interested in checking that out, go to intuitiveartacademy.com/me. Okay, you can learn more. Well, if you want more videos like this, definitely let me know. I love this. I love streaming live. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. Share it if you know people who are really suffering right now, please, because I would love to, at least in my expression, help ease somebody else's suffering. All right, guys, lots and lots of love. Bye-bye.